Exactly 2 weeks ago I decided to learn Blender, and this is my progress of the first week. On day 1 I started research on YouTube and watched some weapon modeling guides. So I began by downloading Blender and making my first model. And it didn't turn out very well. I wanted to create a sci-fi gun, but my vertices were just all messed up. So I deleted the project and started more research. That's it for day 1. After learning more and more about weapon modeling, I started my second try modeling a weapon for my Unity shooter project. I hope I can make a devlog in the next 2 months, and this time it actually didn't turn out that bad. I actually really liked it. But now I was stuck with a question. Do I just go back to Unity and make more bad animations with my Roblox-like arms? Or should I learn more about modeling, skinning, rigging and animating in Blender? I finally decided to learn more Blender and make my animations there. After some more research, I found the best tutorial for my needs, a originally costing but now free on YouTube Udemy course by David Stanfors, linked down in the description, about rigging, skinning and animating. So I started like in the course by rigging my gun, and that's it for day 3. On the next day I actually didn't do anything. I don't know why, but I was just not feeling to hop into Blender and model something. On day 5 I got productive again, modeling some arms and UV mapping them, as well as applying some colors. The arms are currently blue, but that can change in the future. I started rigging the arms, but didn't quite finish on that day. I hopped back into Blender where I left off on day 5 and made some inverse kinematics. If you don't know what that is, it's basically just rotate some bones based on a target and a pole, like in the video here. I also skinned the hands that they actually bend with the bones. I then imported the gun model into my arms project and set up the camera as well as the workspace to animate in. Day 7 was my most productive day, creating 4 animations. But let's go back to the beginning of day 7 before I show you the animations. I started by watching the next video of the animating course on YouTube, and it was time to animate. I first learned about how animating works in Blender with so-called actions, what mean nothing else than animation. I got to know the animation curves, which is in my opinion the key for good animations. And then it was finally time to start with the idle animation. Really basic, but the animation curves brought it to another level. The next animation was the walk animation. I know you can do this stuff with code, but with animations it looked way better. The next challenge was a fire animation. And it sounds very simple, that's at least what I thought, but it took me some time, definitely not 1.5 hours. And then the last lecture of the course, a 1 hour long video, the reload animation. It is definitely the hardest of the animations, but I could apply the knowledge I already learned, and I actually completed the reload animation in just about 2 hours. And I think it turned out really good, at least in the comparison with what I created earlier in Unity. Cinematic animations incoming. And that was it for day 7. I still need to import the animations and the models into Unity, and of course make some more animations like a sprint, jump, inspect, empty reload and a lot more. But that's it for today. In my next devlog in about 2 months, dealing with my new shooter project, I will of course show more. If you want to learn Blender for your games as well, I link the best videos I use down in the description, and I suggest you create your own model and animate that and not use premates to learn more about Blender and not just copy the videos. If you like this video, a thumbs up would help me a lot. And if you don't want to miss the next devlog, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching my little Blender devlog. We see us in the next devlog. Until then, have a great day and happy blendering.